I'm done with my segment.
Chris and Cash show.
Chris and Cash podcast.
It
A little
is.
later than normal.
Yeah, no kidding. It's 11:59, but it is
It actually
still,
is April 22nd.
No.
Friday.
It still is Friday, April 22nd, 2016, and I'm gonna go off topic here. We actually don't have a lot to talk about tonight. We're gonna be talking about the Celtics.
I mean, we do and we don't.
Nah, we really don't. We're gonna be talking about the Celtics for sure.
Cristiano Ronaldo has a quad strain.
No one cares.
I care.
We're gonna be
My
talking
favorite
about.
soccer player.
We're gonna be talking
Trying to
about.
break his own record.
All right.
Most goals in a friggin'.
You done? You finished?
No, most goals in a Champions fucking league. I don't know why you don't care. Season. Trying to break his own record. He already owns the record.
I don't care about
He's one
soccer.
behind. 2 games left. We might not play in the semifinals.
I would rather watch croquet than soccer.
That's horrible. Horrible. You don't respect Lionel Messi?
I don't know who it is, so
He's the best
no.
player of the generation.
That's great. Good for him.
You don't respect Cristiano Ronaldo?
No.
Dude, these dudes are nasty.
Can we please get to
Nasty
Celtics post game?
athletes. Yes,
All
sure.
right, we're going to be talking pretty much Celtics, Red Sox tonight, and we will, I promise, get into the Stanley Cup playoffs. I haven't had a chance.
I have
to
nothing to
watch
say
a ton
about
of
the Patriots. Other than
it. I'm
Josh
not watching
Norman
the
didn't
draft.
come here.
I'm not watching the draft.
I'm not either.
I'll tell you right now.
The only good thing
Right up
about the
Goodell's
draft, I can hope, is that Jaws expects, and I agree with him, that at least 4 quarterbacks will go in the first round. Because quarterbacks the next couple of years are not strong.
Mhm.
And so a lot of quarterbacks are
They're
needed.
settling.
There's like 12 teams that need
Teams are-
quarterbacks.
teams-
right.
teams are
they
gonna
have to settle for a quarterback. So, draft 31 quarterbacks in the first round. I'll be okay with that.
I actually,
I'll be okay with that.
good job. I can't believe I'm saying this. Good job for the by the Cleveland Browns trading out of 2, because their attitude, that basically tells me that their attitude is, what is it? What's 3 more years of us sucking? Because we've already been so bad. We've already
Let me
been
explain
terrible.
something to you.
for
It's not like they're
6
going to make the pick right anyways.
Right.
All right? Even if they get one of the 2 best quarterbacks. Goff or, what's the other guy? Carson
Wenzel.
Wentz?
Wentz or Wenzel?
Yeah, I think it's Goff and Carson Wentz. But if even if those 2 guys are absolute studs, I mean, Cleveland needs more than that anyways. Cleveland needs an entire roster, really.
They're pretty good at like offensive tackle, and that's it.
Well, they're really good at left offensive tackle.
Yeah, and they're not even good at wide receiver anymore because Gordon's pretty much suspended again.
Well, RG3's, telling
Again.
them it matters. But that's the Gordon and the Manziel thing's crazy. But
Johnny
Johnny
Man,
bypass all of that.
when you get dropped by Drew Rosenhaus, who I think would represent a pile of excrement.
Well, he's my agent.
Yeah.
Crystal keeps working out hard, lifting those nuggets.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that the marathon bomber, Zanarov, I'm pretty sure he's represented by Drew Rosenhaus. So for Drew Rosenhaus to dump Manziel, that goes to show you what a train wreck he is.
It really does.
No, seriously.
The only thing big in football is Josh Norman.
No, but seriously, the Manziel,
He's a bum.
he needs to move to LA and like date whatever Kardashian's available and just go with it and complete it. Yeah. Go with Caitlyn Jenner. There you go.
Take Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, absolutely. Likes older women. But we're gonna be talking the Josh Norman thing. I still think it's that he didn't want to play with Cam Newton. He's like, this guy's
It
a
had
bum.
nothing to do with that.
This guy's a bum. I don't want to play with him.
Carolina just decided that he wasn't worth the cap hit, which I think is stupid. They got rid of him. Now I guess he signed with Washington. Is that accurate? Yeah, he was going to sign with Washington.
Danny Snyder's building his fantasy team brick by brick.
It's funny. The same teams that win free agency every year never win anything.
Miami, Washington.
Always.
Yeah.
They just win free agency, but they never win anything.
And I'm not.
You'd almost rather be the Browns and just not win free agency and still not win because at least you're not getting your hopes up.
Yeah, but they make Kevin Costner movies about you.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that's a good movie. That's a good movie.
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't seen it all the way through.
Ah,
I
it's a
have
good
it on
movie.
DVD too.
Should watch
Dude, it's Kevin Costner. Everything he's good. He's in his
Well, he
good.
plays a really good GM.
Even the Postman, which was a boring ass movie, was good.
I haven't seen The Postman.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. Don't think I want to see it.
Yeah, Kevin Costner though. Some really good movies over the years.
So let's talk about the Celtics.
Yeah, let's talk about the C's. Now, I think, Chris, going into this game, the writing was on the wall. They've been getting off to atrocious starts, and that's being kind. 19 points in the first quarter in Game 1, 7 in Game 2, a combined 26 the first 2 games.
Listen,
They exploded for 37 in the first tonight.
they should have won Game 1. I don't care what you say. I just want everyone to know in Celtics Nation.
Should they have done?
Green teamers, I've waved the white flag. Okay? Conditionally. Because
I haven't yet.
You don't have Avery Bradley. And without Avery Bradley, you're not going to win this series. You have 3 good players. They have 3 good players, really, that you could stack against each other. You have Crowder. You have Isaiah Thomas. You have Avery Bradley. They have Horford. They have Teague.
Millsap.
And they have Millsap. Yeah,
and
I'm not going to say no Schroeder.
Schroeder, who played really well tonight, actually.
But you know what, though? Bradley would shut him down.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Bradley would shut him down, or he'd shut Teague down. Bradley automatically shuts... Bradley is the best two-way player you have. Offensive and defensive combined.
I'm disagreeing with you.
Okay, so you lose him.
What about Sully?
I hate Jared Sullinger. Jared Sullinger's gaining weight every time he runs up and down the court. It's like he eats a donut when he runs up the court or something. He's literally getting fatter. I don't get it.
Oh,
he's like Pablo Sandoval. They're having a weight off. Like, who can gain more weight?
Really quick, the Cavs are up on the Pistons 3-0 in the series, going for the sweep in Detroit, I think, Sunday. So that's not a surprise. What is a surprise? Stanley Johnson, the rookie out of Arizona for the Pistons, called LeBron a fugazi.
A fugazi. Said he's in LeBron's head, which is odd because LeBron's killing him.
Yeah, LeBron had 20, 13, and 7 tonight?
I don't remember what it was exactly. It was something like that.
Yeah,
the box score real quick.
Yeah, well, I'll just bring up another window.
We're at the Celtics box score where Isaiah Thomas scored 42 tonight, which is huge. A Herculean effort, but that's the thing. You're going to need something like that every time.
But think about it. They scored 42, Chris, and they won by. He scored 42, and I know they won by 8. It was nip and tuck the whole fourth. Yeah, I mean, and I know he's hurt right now. You're getting nothing out of Crowder right now. Nothing.
You're getting nothing out of Crowder because he's injured, hurt. Okay. He's not 100%.
Yeah, but
you don't have Avery Bradley. That's why
you know what?
Isaiah's the series.
Isaiah's banged up too, and he had 42 tonight. Sometimes
Isaiah, I told you this before, is the best player in the series. He's the best player in the series.
For LeBron, bad shooting night, 8 of 24, so basically 33%. But he
had 20, 13, and 7.
20, 13, and 7. So he helped out in other ways.
Look at Love,
which is what the great players.
Love had 20, 12, and 2, but he had 20 points on 10 shots.
Yeah, that's pretty efficient. 7 out of 10 is efficient.
Kyrie Irving's been actually playing really well.
Yeah, I mean this team's going back to the finals. Okay,
they're walking there.
Yeah, they're gonna get killed in the finals.
Actually, they're taking a jet, but they should just go now.
They're gonna get killed in the finals, but they're gonna
get. If they're healthy, I'm not so sure about that.
Maybe they win 2 games.
They make it a 6-game series.
Maybe. We'll see.
I actually think they have a better chance against Golden State if they're healthy than they do against San Antonio.
That's fair. But yeah, the Fugazi thing really had me in stitches earlier. I was talking to you earlier. LeBron James is a Fugazi? How do you know he's a Fugazi? You've been in the league for like 2 seconds. He's a fake.
I know what a Fugazi is.
A fake. Yeah, I know what a Fugazi is. All right, but let's take a look at the Celtics box score. 37-20 after 1, Chris. You're feeling really good about yourselves. They also, too, brilliant coach. Well, should we say brilliant because we really didn't have a ton of options left. Brad Stevens started Jerebko tonight.
Kelly Olynyk couldn't play because his vagina hurts or something.
Oh, I love that too.
It's sore, actually.
I told you earlier, if I ever told my father that I couldn't play, whether it was football, baseball, basketball, because my shoulder was a little bit sore, he would have thrown me in a
Scotty,
fucking
I can't
dress.
do the podcast. My jaw's sore.
I actually have a legitimate beef with that, by the way, and I'm still doing the podcast. But yeah, Kelly Olynyk is a little bitch. I've wanted him out of here for 3 years anyway. I'm done.
I think he probably is done. I don't even think he's injured. I think this might even be Stevens just saying, "Sit, I'm not playing you. Get out of here." Honestly,
you think he would do that?
He sat him the other night when he didn't put defensive effort in.
Yeah.
Right. He hasn't shown. Put it this way: Jared Sullinger is an absolute dog. I watch him on defense and I laugh and I go, Scotty makes fun of James Harden and stuff, but Sullinger does the same shit and it's a playoff game. He watches people go by. He doesn't help in rotations. He doesn't play off pick and rolls.
Not look good.
He just watches things happen. And people dunk and it's like, wow, Sullinger, that was the guy you should have taken.
Yeah, he has not looked good.
But he makes Kelly Olynyk look like he's a corpse doing nothing. Kelly does nothing.
Kelly Olynyk is a Fugazi, literally.
He does nothing.
He's a Fugazi.
Nothing.
He's a Fugazi.
He's not even a Fugazi. It's a bad name of Fugazis. Okay?
Yeah, get this guy out of here. He's too sore. His shoulder is too sore to play. By the way, he's not a physical guy. He doesn't play in the paint. All he does is pop threes. You're trying to tell me you can't shoot up? and just hang
Plus, he's
around
Canadian.
hang around the perimeter.
He's
and
Canadian.
just
Supposedly
spread
he's
the
played
floor.
hockey his whole life. Imagine a hockey player was like, my shoulder's sore. They'd be like, yeah, everyone's shoulder's sore.
Guy's a pussy. Guy's an
Get him
absolute
outta
pussy. Get him the hell out. I don't care.
Send him to Mike Tirico.
I don't care if Mike Gorman wants to make excuses for him. I don't care if Tommy Heinsohn wants to make excuses for him. I'm done. Not that I ever liked the guy.
The guy's a fugazi.
Yeah, I know what a fugazi is. Kelly Olynyk's a fugazi. I know what a fugazi is. All right. But, Chris, they needed to get off to a 37-20 start, which is what they did. They needed to kind of take the pressure off early. But Jerebko, I think, he had 5 points in the first couple of minutes. He hit a 3. It spread the floor a little bit, opened it up for Isaiah.
Jerebko was the fire starter. He was that little
Yes.
engine that could here.
Yes.
He really was.
The thing is, though, on Sunday, is Stevens going to be tempted to go with that lineup again?
He's going to have to. And now, the thing
but
is,
you know that
it's not
Atlanta's-
going to infuse
you know that-
energy into him the same.
You know Atlanta's going to adjust to it.
Of
That's what the good team.
part of what a series is. But other than Evan Turner to me was also the unheralded star of the game.
Yeah, Raheem had a good game.
Yeah, he had 17
he had
points,
17
2 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 steals.
He had 5 steals.
And he was all over the place.
He had a couple of bad turnovers, but
Yeah,
I mean, he did play well. There was that one lob in the last few minutes to Johnson that got intercepted. That was just a bad.
He had a
pass.
couple beautiful passes.
He
though.
did. The 3-point play when I think they were up 3 at the time, we put them up 6, and then they pretty much went to cruise control the last couple of minutes. Before Isaiah hit one from the Charles River. That thing was deep.
Smart had 2 blocks, and one of them was incredible on Horford.
Mm-hmm.
You have a little guy. What's Smart? 6'3"?
6'4", yeah.
Is he even that tall?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and he's swatting what, a 6'11", 6'10" Horford?
No, Horford's like 6'9".
No, Horford's tall.
Horford's 6'9". Look at
No, he's at least 6'10".
6'9".
He's 6'10".
Are you sure? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Horford's 6'10", bro.
Let's see. Click on his stats here. He is 6'10". Ooh, a whole inch.
Chris O'Keefe knows his fucking basketball player height.
A whole inch. How big's his dick then, if you know the height?
No idea about that.
All right.
You're the one with the jaw that hurts. All right.
Fuck you. All right, so Jonas in the starting role, he played 37 minutes. That has to be. He's probably gassed after that. This guy probably plays like 10 minutes a game.
11 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists,
5 of 12.
plus 14.
Plus 14.
According to plus
and again,
minus.
we always talk about plus minus being, overrated. Crowder, 33 minutes, 1 of 11 from the floor, 4 points. It's actually a plus 4, so that goes to that's all you need to know about plus minus. He was plus 4 when he was.
Played 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and then 3 steals. Depends who you're playing with, what you do.
Yeah, but he
didn't shoot well.
If he's going to play this badly, he's just hurting the team. I mean, he's going to be this bit. I understand he's playing hurt. You don't want to knock the guy for being hurt. I understand that. But at this point, is he hurting the team being out there? Because
No.
he's giving them nothing, Chris.
I understand that, but he gave them other things. He still played solid defense.
I'm not
He had 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals.
I'm not an Amir Johnson guy, but he actually played decent tonight.
7 for 8 field goals.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them were just like lobs, inside passes
50,
for layups.
15 and 7, 2 blocks inside. I did have 3 turnovers, but that's the NBA now. By the way, NBA's got to get rid of the 3-point line.
No, they don't.
There's too
What, are
many
you going to make a
threes.
4-point line?
Too many threes.
No, there's not.
Do you know
Don't
what
be
they
such a traditionalist.
Dude, you know the three.
That's your problem. You
know
want
the-
everything to be like the 1960s or 50s. Like you're like, we need no 3-point line. We need no DH. We need to get rid of this. Football needs to be rough and tough with 3 yards in a.
If I wish I could go in a time machine and go back to like the early '90s when sports were awesome, like all sports were awesome before like Kelly.
See, I don't think all sports were awesome. You just were opening your eyes to sports, and so you romanticized about that era.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I'm pretty sure.
No.
I'm
You're pretty sure nothing.
No.
Wrong.
All 4 sports are
Irrelevant.
all 4 sports are being taken over by Kelly Olynyk, who was like, "Oh, that's too rough. You can't do that."
No.
How many fucking flagrants
You
these
got
guys?
Patrice Bergeron.
How many flagrants these guys gonna call?
That's a
That is-
flagrant by the
that
letter
is
of the law.
ridiculous. That's
Listen, if I hit you in the head and I'm not really going for the ball and I just whack you in the head for no reason other than to whack you in the head, which a lot of players do, that's a flagrant foul.
One of them I can't remember. The guy was clearly going for the ball, and they called it a flagrant.
If you whack him in the head and it doesn't look like you're going for the ball.
There should be a little asterisk in a playoff game. You don't call it, and I'm being dead serious.
No.
You can't call that in a playoff.
That's like the
game.
same thing when you said it was absolutely okay that they didn't call pass interference or holding on the Ravens and fourth down
On the
in the
night-
fourth
I remember
quarter
that.
against the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
And what did I
Listen,
And what did I?
if it's a foul or a penalty at one point,
penalty is a penalty is a penalty.
it is at the other point. I don't care if it's the preseason, the first quarter of the first game, if it's mid-season, if it's the first round of the playoffs, if it's the Super Bowl.
Okay.
If it's a penalty, you call it the same.
Was that ball catchable? Because I don't think it was.
I think it might have been if the guy wasn't holding
I
him.
don't think it was. I think the
The
Tyler
receiver still isn't out of his grasp yet. He's still stuck on that field.
Dude, Tyler's boy threw it like 10 feet over his head.
Look,
It was a fade that was like wide to the right, and it was uncatchable. I have no problem with the no call there.
no, I do. It should have been a penalty. I could care less who won the Super Bowl. I care about the integrity of the game. Want to know someone that cares about the integrity of the game, Roger? I do. And when it's a penalty, no matter what. You don't swallow your whistles. I don't believe in that. I'm sorry. Tell your guy not to hold somebody in the fourth quarter. It's not that hard. You can't tell me it was uncatchable because the receiver had no chance to even run. He was just blanketed. Not okay.
Okay. Well, we're talking about a game that happened 3 years ago that we
Still not okay.
and I was rooting for the Niners that game, and I still thought
I don't care who won. Still not okay.
Yeah, I wanted the Niners to win. The hell would I root for Baltimore for? All right,
You are an Orioles fan.
Orioles, not Ravens.
Orioles.
I have no emotional connection to the Ravens whatsoever.
No, I know you're higher. Well, I don't know if higher is the right word, but you're a little bit more into the chances the Celtics have than I am. Listen, if Avery Bradley's not walking through that door, you're not winning. It's that simple.
Well, let me say this.
I don't care if they win Game 4 and they even the series up.
Does this make it more difficult? Of course it does. Of course it does. Now, they win Sunday, and they go back to Atlanta tied. Who is all the pressure on in Game 5?
I understand it's on Atlanta, but you know what?
There's
You're still not going to win best out of 3.
The Celtics are playing with house
without
money.
Bradley.
The Celtics are playing with house money. There's no pressure on them.
You better hope Isaiah Thomas scores 40 a game.
Who says he doesn't?
I'm not saying he
Maybe
doesn't.
last night gets him. Maybe tonight gets him going.
Told you he's the best player in the series. Told you that starting out. He's the reason why I picked the Celtics. Him and the coaching. They had even teams.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're missing one of your best players and your best two-way player, probably, I don't think you're going to win the series. Not without home court.
Crowder's obviously not Crowder.
I thought they could have
all.
Thought they could have and would have stolen Game 1 if Avery Bradley stayed healthy throughout the game.
Well, I mean, like I told you earlier,
I know you said they were only up 3.
No
I'm not saying there's a guarantee. I'm saying I think they would have. People forget that Bradley is a shutdown defender when he wants to be.
I think a lot of people
He
though.
blankets people.
I think a lot of people though they lost that game 102 to 101. They or 103 to 102. They lost by a point. Okay, but
They missed a ton of open shots. They didn't play well.
They missed some free throws down the stretch also, but people don't understand. Like the last 5 minutes of the game, they were down 4 or 5 points, and they just happened to cut it to 1. Like they hit like a deep three.
Technically,
with like 0.1 on the clock.
Yeah.
To cut it to 1 point. So
Technically, they had a chance at the very end of the game to win it too.
that was actually a great play by Smart, even though it was wide. He basically broke it up and in one motion, flung it down the end of the court, and it hit the backboard.
That would have been. They would have won the game. Obviously, it wasn't going to win.
Imagine he gets all these open looks and just throws up absolute cinder blocks, and a play like that, it goes in. He hit a big 3 tonight though, actually, with the score tied.
He had 2 threes tonight.
Yeah, 11 points.
Absolutely shocking.
But you encouraged or discouraged by how they won that game? Because if you told me Isaiah scores 42 points, I'm like, they'll probably win by 15. And they only won by 8.
I was encouraged that they won. I'm still discouraged because I don't think they can keep that up for 3 more wins.
So are you going to give me my wings now?
No, I mean, if Avery Bradley comes back, which, again, he hurt a pop. It's a grade 2 strain, which means a partial tear. It's a 2 to 4 week injury, probably minimum. Danny Ainge already said he's not coming back if he's not 100%. They've ruled him out for games 3 and 4 minimum. He's not going to play the whole series. I don't see them winning.
You know what? Off the top of my head, I would say even if they win the series, he's done. Unless they miraculously go to the finals, which I don't think it's going to happen. I could see him shooting up and playing if it was a 7th game. But that's about it.
It's not going to happen.
Probably not. And like you said, it's a grade 2, so it's not just a run-of-the-mill hamstring strain, like a Manny Ramirez hamstring strain. There's a tear in there. Okay.
Well, Manny's weren't even strains.
Manny couldn't remember which knee
Manny's
was
like,
giving
I gotta
him
go to the
problems.
bathroom, and I'll be back. I'll be in the monster for a couple of innings.
Manny couldn't remember which knee was giving him problems when they sent it for MRI, so they gave him
Yeah,
two
he was
of
like,
them.
this one. They were like, neither knee's bad.
Oh,
they both hurt.
no, never mind. It was
It was my elbow.
It was my ankle. I'm sorry. All right, so let's take a look at the box score for Atlanta. Millsap, relatively no show here tonight in 37 minutes, 3-9 from the floor, 8 points, 10 rebounds, still rebounded well.
I thought they played great defense against him.
No, they were much better, and I think a lot of that was Sullinger just hasn't been able to handle him, and he was on the.
Because Sullinger sucks.
Okay.
Sullinger didn't play a lot. Jerebko played on him.
Yep.
Johnson played on him. And then they put Crowder on him.
They rotated a lot of guys on him. Kent Bazemore actually had himself a night. 8 and 19 from the floor, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists.
I thought their best player was Schroeder.
He played well. He and Teague. I think the Celts were up 4, and Teague had that little Rondo scoop layup to cut him within 2. I mean he's a crafty little guard.
Also a guy that always scares me on their team.
Korver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing he picked up that 5th foul and got him out of the game.
No, he should have picked up a 6th foul at least 2 times.
Yeah, they
One where they called one on Smart, another one he bumped Smart out of bounds, even though Smart's the biggest flopper in the world. He bumped him on a rebound and Smart went flying.
I can't stand that about his game. I just can't stand it.
He's horrible.
I just can't stand it. But so game 4 Sunday. I still think this. I think the Celtics are back in the series. I think if they win Sunday, they have a puncher's chance. All the pressure's on Atlanta in Game 5. They come out tight. Celtics win that game. Does Atlanta even did they mentally check out for Game 6? They could. You don't know yet. I still think Atlanta's going to win the series. Okay? I think they win Sunday, it's over. I think they wrap it up in 5. But the Celtics still have a shot. I'm not waving the white flag like you are. I still think it's a bad matchup. I don't
think it's a bad matchup. Again, it's not a bad matchup. You just don't have a player that you need. If Avery Bradley's healthy, I'd be absolutely fine. Even down 2-1, I'd still think you're going to win the series. I think you'd be up 2-1 if Avery Bradley was healthy, quite frankly. But regardless, down 2-1, I'd say you have the horses, you can go play. You don't have you're missing one of your 3 best players.
Mm-hmm.
One of your other 3 best players is not playing well because he's still probably injured. Right. You're not good enough to beat them right now. I'm not worried about their team in general.
And they're going every game. This is becoming a pattern. They go through like a 5-6 minute stretch where they just can't score.
Yeah, but they play incredible defense against them.
Yeah, I mean they're playing good deep, but
they're holding them to low 40, like around 40% shooting.
What did they shoot for the game?
They're not scoring well.
What did they shoot for the game?
For today,
44%.
Hawks shot 44%.
Celtics shot 46.
You look at the other games.
Take a look at the threes. How many 3-pointers were shot today?
And that's the thing. In game 1, you missed about 47 open 3-pointers.
All right, Atlanta took 36.
Celtics were 11
36 plus 32, so 68 3-point shots.
That's the game now, Scott.
And it drives me nuts.
I'm glad it drives you nuts. It doesn't hurt the game.
I think
it really does.
I think it makes the game worse. There was another game tonight. San Antonio's up 3-0. Big surprise, right? 96-87 over Memphis.
Oh no, we both picked them to sweep, right?
Yeah.
There's no way they're dropping again, Memphis. I was telling Scotty earlier, Memphis has 0 superstars or stars right now. They just have a bunch of respectable veterans.
Who's that sound
like? Vince Carter.
Who does that
Matt
sound
Barnes,
like?
Tony Allen. Not the Celtics. Not the Celtics.
They have like 1/2 a star. Oh, by the way, the Celtic fans who were there tonight, she had an MVP for Isaiah. Seriously? At the season Steph Curry had. Really? That's embarrassing. I know
they thought Steph Curry was in the building? I don't know.
No, he was actually at the Red Sox game.
Curry?
He was behind home plate at the Houston game, yeah, because they're playing the Rockets.
Huh.
They put the camera on him a couple times.
I didn't notice that at all. I barely watched the Red Sox tonight.
Yeah, I was going back and forth. The Orioles actually only lost to the Royals by 2 runs, so that's not that bad.
Only 2
runs.
Let's get into baseball for a moment.
Sox won 6-2. I'm going to let you go on Farrell.
I was actually wanting the Sox to lose.
I'm going to let you unload. Go ahead.
And I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
If the Sox could have somehow got swept by Houston, maybe they'd be bad enough where we could get rid of Farrell. because Farrell has sucked as a manager. Right? Your team should probably have 2 or 3 more wins. Right? Now you're 8-8 right now, which is 500. Scott's showing me some Chappelle Show friggin' memes, and let's just say R.I.P. to Prince.
Yeah, and I thought it was appropriate that...
That was actually the meme from that episode.
Yeah, Game Blows. Yeah. I don't think it's still... I think Michael Jackson was a bigger deal when he died, but this is right up there.
It's close.
I think
I was actually thinking about that. Well, Michael Jackson might be bigger. It's closer than you'd think.
The two biggest of all time were probably Elvis and John Lennon, probably.
Well, the Beatles are the highest selling.
Yeah, I think Lennon.
Ever,
I think Lennon getting shot is like.
He's the best Beatle. Yeah.
A lot of people are gonna say Paul McCartney.
No.
My favorite Beatle is actually George Harrison.
You're gonna say Ringo, aren't you?
No, George Harrison. No, Ringo.
Look, Lennon's the best Beatle. I'm sorry.
He might have been the best songwriter.
He's the best one. He's the most important, most impactful.
Everyone overlooks George Harrison.
I'm not saying
he was the best guitarist.
To be honest, all the 3 other than Ringo are like neck and neck. But
I remember someone.
Poor Ringo.
I remember someone asked. Yeah, he'll outlive McCartney too now.
Ringo will probably live to be 5,000 years old.
I remember someone asked John Lennon, is Ringo the best drummer of all time? And Lennon said he wasn't even the best drummer in the Beatles.
It's probably true.
Everyone shits on poor Ringo.
But look, the Red Sox are 500 right now.
8-8.
They should probably be 10-6.
Their differential's 3 right now. They've scored 80 runs, have given up 77.
I loved watching the game yesterday when you had to have a guy go out there for his first Major League appearance ever.
In a tie game.
And pitch, 2 or 3 innings?
In the 8th inning.
Can't remember.
He's misused his bullpen.
And no one in the bullpen was available. Tazawa, unavailable. Koji, unavailable.
And
Kimbrel, unavailable.
They're all 40 years old.
They're all sitting there.
Yeah, but
unavailable.
Farrell,
because Farrell decided to pitch everybody every game the rest of the week.
In Farrell's defense, half of his starters can't get into the 5th inning. And that includes the guy you paid $217 million for.
I understand that, but at some point you got to rest.
David Price has been inexplicably bad.
Okay, it's early in the season.
I get it too early.
But your manager can't burn your whole bullpen this early.
Chris, a 5-1 lead at home against Tampa Bay.
Scotty, why was Tazawa in a
scoring
game?
Runs?
It was the 8th inning. They have 4 runs. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Tazawa pitched. Why didn't he rest that day? Why?
Which is even more amazing for Farrell because he's a pitching coach. You figure he would.
No, he's like, well, get him out there. And then when you ask him stuff like that, he's like, oh, they need to get pitches in. I forget. He pinch hit yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think Chris Young pinch hit again.
Yeah.
And his logic for why he pinch hit was he needs at bats. Dude, try to win a fucking ball game.
I know.
Who cares about you need at bats? You don't need at bats. You need to win the ball game. Number 1, Shaw, just play him regardless. Play him all the time. Same thing with Holt.
Yep.
And Jackie Bradley.
Those
guys all need to play 85 to 90% of the time.
Sign off on that.
No more Chris Young once in a while when you feel like it, subbing him in, this, that, the other thing.
Once in a while versus lefties, I'm okay with.
I'm not because, depends who it's for. It's not for Shaw. Shaw's been killing lefties. You've been doing it for Shaw, and Shaw's killing lefties.
Maybe you do it for Bradley. You can move Betts to center.
You can do it for Bradley.
And put Young in right.
Did you see the catch that Bradley made today?
Well, he makes great catch every night.
No, he ran 7 miles. He's still running. He ended up in Lynn, Massachusetts from Houston, all right? He actually floated in there.
That's longer than 7 miles.
That's like 2,000.
Yeah, it's like 3,500 miles, right?
Dude, he covers so much ground. It's absurd. It really is.
Do you know what the funny thing is with the Red Sox? We're looking at the record here. 4-6 at Fenway, which with their offense, they should be scoring 10 runs a game and just mashing the ball.
Well, you're losing games 12-8
and
8-7.
4-2 on the road.
How are you losing games where you're scoring 7, 8, 9 runs?
Because your pitching staff is horrendous.
But part of that's the manager too. Twice this week they had bases loaded, no outs, and didn't score in either game.
So far, and I know we're only a couple weeks in, who's their best starting pitcher been? Rick Porcello.
Might be right.
By far.
No, it might be right.
He sucked less than the other guys. He's been okay.
No, Wright's probably their best starter statistically.
He's a knuckleballer. It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Scotty has this high disdain for Tim Wakefield. I tried to explain to him that Tim Wakefield had a guaranteed forever contract where the Red Sox could just pay him $4 million. and he was still a starter for the next year. And it was automatically renewable by the team forever. So
Guy
he's paying
cost-
$4 million, and he's a starting pitcher.
Guy
you
cost
should
you-
still be paying him $4
Guy
million a year
cost
to
you a
pitch.
pennant in 2003. He cost you a division in 2011 and got Tito Francona fired.
Okay, right.
Oh, Betts didn't get the
6.2 innings pitched,
cycle, by the way.
4 hits, 1 run. Okay, I know he's
5 walks.
I know he's 1 and 2.
5
but he has
walks.
a 1.4 ERA. for the
5
season.
walks.
1.4 ERA.
I don't care.
Well, if you're gonna sit here and complain about Price, you have to give Wright his due.
Oh, Wright's been better than Price. I agree.
I actually like Hembry. I don't know if you've seen him pitch it.
Alan Hembry?
No, what's his name?
I have no idea.
Ends with an H. Can't remember his name.
How did the Red Sox... The Red Sox had 15 hits. They only won 6-2. How many runs did they leave on base?
Betts brought his... Well, they leave tons of runs on base all the time. But the thing is, that's one of the things that's going to happen if you have a lot of runners and runners in scoring position. You're going to leave some of them on.
Oh, by the way, and I don't know the answer to this. Who's the owner of the Astros?
I don't know.
Whoever he is, that cheap prick couldn't give Ortiz a better present than a fucking cowboy hat?
Number one.
Are you serious?
Let me explain something to you. Why does Ortiz need presents? What the hell is this presents thing? I want to go places and be like, hey, I'm retiring. And then everywhere I go just gives me a present. That's not how it works. Like, I want to walk into a McDonald's and be like, I'm retiring. They're like, oh my God, it's a mythical 30-piece nugget. You know what I mean?
It's a new phone.
I'm retiring. Like, no. No, he doesn't need any presents. Jeter didn't need presents. I'm even more upset that Ortiz is getting presents.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do a farewell tour, you can't do better than
as
a fucking
much
cowboy
as
hat.
I bash Jeter, at least he was a higher level player than Ortiz. I love Ortiz. I think Ortiz is going to make the Hall of Fame, but he's borderline.
He's not, but he should.
He's borderline.
He should, but he's not going to.
He should. He will make it.
No, he's not.
He's going to make it.
Steroid taint. He's not going to get in.
In 20 years, he's in. Just like Vince Carter in the Basketball Hall of Fame, I can predict these things. Telling you right now, David Ortiz is going to be a Hall of Famer in 20 years. But my point is, he's a borderline Hall of Famer. Great DH.
No. Stop right there. He's a Hall of Famer. Period. Period.
Okay, but if we had a Bill Simmons pyramid, okay, for baseball Hall of Famers, Ortiz is in the low level of the pyramid.
If we're talking just clutch hitters, he's right there in the pantheon.
Clutch hitters. I'm talking about overall career, overall
He has 500 home runs.
Okay.
He's a DH. He's the greatest DH of all time.
So automatically he doesn't
And
field.
even though I think DH is a joke, technically it's still a position.
It's a position.
That's not
It's
his
the least
fault.
valuable position, though.
It doesn't matter.
It's like being the greatest kicker. Okay? Adam Vinatieri is going to be the greatest kicker. That doesn't make him the best football player ever.
He's going to the
Look
Hall-
at how good he was as a kicker, though.
He's going to the Hall
Look
of
at how
Fame.
clutch he is.
Adam
The
Vinatieri-
greatest kicks.
Adam Vinatieri.
Best football player ever, Adam Vinatieri. No, that's not how it
Adam
works.
Vinatieri's going Hall of Fame.
He should be all of him, and so should Ortiz. But just being clutch and being the best at a position that's shit doesn't make you the best ever. I love Ortiz.
Rondo, best ever.
No, I love Ortiz. All right? But Ortiz is a low-level Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's not even as good as Wade Boggs. Okay? He's not nearly as good as an A-Rod.
Well, different kind of hitters.
He's not an A-Rod. He's not a Pujols.
Boggs.
He's not even as good as a Manny. I'm going to say it right now. Manny Ramirez is a better player overall.
Manny's one of the 10 greatest hitters of all time.
Not 10, maybe 25. Top 25. Thing is, if Manny Ramirez wasn't a bonehead, getting suspended all the time, first of all, he could probably still play. Second of all, he should have had over 600 home runs easy.
He ended up with
555?
Yeah.
He should have had over 600 easy.
Yeah.
It's absurd. But, I mean, I'm sorry, Ken Griffey Jr. way better. Those guys are like upper echelon, like Mickey Mantle, like Ted Williams, Babe Ruth.
DiMaggio.
Those guys can need gifts from everybody. Shit, everyone wants to go get Barry Bonds a gift. David Ortiz doesn't need a gift.
Have you seen Barry recently?
He's like 100 pounds, soaking wet.
Oh my God.
He bikes everywhere.
That's unreal.
He's like going for the Tour de France, okay?
like, dude, I'm bigger than Bonds.
Yeah,
right now.
Barry Bonds is small, but his head's still huge. It's like a bobblehead. It's like, wee.
No, the funny thing is, like, his dome is still big,
it's
but the
huge.
rest of his face, like, slimmed out, so he kind of looks like an
He doesn't-
alien now.
they're like, oh my God, look at the bike helmet he has. No, that's not a helmet. That's just his head.
Still the best player I ever saw, with or without the shit.
But Betts had a great night. 4 for 5.
He was going
brought
for the
his
cycle for a
OPS up to 849. That's huge.
Mhm.
Bogarts brought his OPS up to 770. 760. Both of them at the beginning of the day had OPSs of 717 and 718 respectively. They're your two best players probably. Right
Shaw's
now.
hitting 352, and again, I know it's early.
Overall players. Yeah, Shaw's killing it. Ortiz has been killing it.
Even
today.
even Jackie Bradley, 240 for the center field that he plays, you take that. 240, you take
Up until
it.
a day or two ago, he was higher average-wise than both Xander and Betts.
What have I been saying about Jackie Bradley all along? All you need him to do is hit 250.
I don't even... You hit 220, you're fine.
Yeah,
His center field is incredible.
250 is a
He
huge,
basically has the
huge
ability
win.
to play like center field, but half of right and half of left.
No, left center to right center, he has the range to cover everything.
That's my point. He can cover
Yep.
more ground than almost anyone I've ever seen.
Oh, the run prevention with him is off the charts. So even if he can't, hit the broadside of a barn, he's got to be in there.
Oh, look, Hanley's been getting some crap because he didn't run it out yesterday.
He's been playing a good first base.
He made an error yesterday.
He's been playing a good
first. A much better first base than I even thought he would.
And I thought it was going to be another disaster. He's proven me
He's
wrong.
been trying. Now he's a bonehead. He's an idiot.
Yep.
He's not one of the guys that's a student of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he hit the ball and then he watched it to see if it was fair or foul, if it was a home run. Who the hell knows what he was watching? He only got to first.
Mm-hmm.
He scored anyways. I have no problems.
But Manny did that here and he was celebrated. And
Hanley's like a mini Manny.
Only not nearly as good.
Oh, yeah, that's why he's mini. But all in all, this team is good enough where they should have a few more wins. Now, Hannigan, he's all right. I think Swihart should be back up here. If you're going to do anything, you should move Swihart back up here.
Catcher. They should move. What they should do.
Oh, on top of that, I believe Farrell had 9 men in his bullpen, and 4 of them weren't available. You never have 9 guys in your bullpen in the first place.
I know.
How are 4 of them unavailable?
I know. The only thing you can say in Farrell's defense is
there's no defense.
That his starters have been so bad that he's had to use his bullpen more than he anticipated.
No!
That's the only thing you can say.
I don't care. I don't.
That's the only thing you can say.
I'll start to be smart enough to use pitches on the off pitching day. Have that as they can pitch out of the bullpen. That's what they should do, anyways.
You can usually have one guy who can pitch every day, and usually it's the closer because it's just 3 outs. But the middle reliever guys, the 7, 8, 9 guys, you got to give them rest in between.
But if they're only pitching one inning,
you're gonna burn these. No, Chris. You're gonna burn these guys out by June.
Well, Koji's like 80 years old.
He's 40 years old. Yeah, 41.
Yeah.
Can't pitch every day anymore.
That, though.
Can't pitch every day anymore.
But you know that going in. So why are you pitching them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
I agree with you.
How do you not know that you burnt out all your guys so you can't have them all for Thursday?
I think right now it reeks of desperation because he's worried about getting fired.
I think he's so worried about getting fired, it's making him a worse manager, and he wasn't a good manager to start with.
I agree. Yep.
That's why he needs to be gone.
I agree.
I want him gone. Get rid of him.
I want him gone today.
Today.
He's
got less power, less acceleration.
Less? What's he, a Lincoln?
Yeah.
Oh, man. These people, you do realize people listen, they've never seen these movies, they have no idea what the hell we're talking about?
Yeah, those were references to Donnie Brasco and Goodfellas.
Right.
They're not going to know that. Well, they should know that.
Well, our little group will know that, sure, because we say it like ad nauseum. But make your point about Tiger.
Oh, let's talk about Tiger Woods real quick.
Make your point about Tiger.
Tiger Woods is a bum, and not just because
in more ways than one.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone read the article that came out on ESPN about him. I just happened by.
I should have pulled it up. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Tiger Woods. There's an article about the life unraveled in years after how Tiger Woods, life unraveled in the years after Father Earl Wood's death.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes through like hidden parts of Tiger's life and a bunch of things that happened. But the best thing is like he used to go and hang out with the Navy SEALs all the time. Because, he thought if he wasn't a golfer, he would have been a Navy SEAL. And because his father was a military guy, he could have been a Navy SEAL too. So he goes out there and he trains with them, but he only does all the fun stuff and like does all the light stuff and like doesn't do anything like
go into firing ranges.
Yeah, and stuff like jumping out of stuff and like doing the cool stuff, but he never like had to sit in like a hypothermic tank for like 10 hours or like. I know what they do to a lot of these guys in the Marines or the SEALs. They make them like eat dirt and like live in sand for like 3 days until they feel like they're just a piece of sand. That's what even one of the Navy SEALs said. When you're like crusty as sand, you can't tell what's skin and what's not because your skin grinds off.
Yeah, he didn't
do any of that stuff. Shit. No, they weren't going to let him do that anyways. Okay, but the big thing is, so he's with a group of Navy SEALs and he's acting like he's the man and all this stuff, and they go out for lunch and he doesn't pay.
Keep in mind, this guy is a quadrillionaire.
Yeah. And so Tiger Woods, this is the Yahoo article about just this part of it, but Tiger Woods once baffled and irritated a group of Navy SEALs when he didn't pick up the check for lunch. It's incredible. It's incredible. So I'm going to read you...
Read an excerpt.
Yeah, a small part. Okay? So Tiger doesn't pick up the check. Finally, one of the SEALs says, "Separate checks, please." And the waitress walks away. Okay, Tiger doesn't even offer to pay his portion of the check, by the way, is what happened at the time.
Pathetic.
So one of the SEALs says, and he's anonymous, he says, "We're all baffled. We're sitting there with Tiger fucking Woods, who probably makes more than all of us combined in a day. He's shooting our ammo, taking our time. He's a weird fucking guy. That's weird shit. Something's wrong with you." Okay?
Something most certainly is
And they
wrong
just
with
go
him. He's a
on, and the
prick.
whole story, both the stories, basically sit there, and they say how Tiger is just an absolute bum and a horrible human being.
Yeah, but we already knew this.
But it's never come out this bad. For Navy SEALs, okay? Another SEAL later on says, not a single, talking about the SEALs in general, not a single one wants to have any involvement or have their name mentioned in the press anywhere near his. His interactions with the guys were not always the most stellar, and most were very underwhelmed with him as a man. Now, this is way before any of the stuff with the Ambien and crashing his friggin' SUV.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a horrible human being.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Oh, not enough bad things can happen to this guy.
Like you
I've
said,
it
he's
times.
infinitely worse than Michael Jordan. Infinitely.
Oh, Michael Jordan's like Mother Teresa compared to this.
Yeah. You were saying you'd rather hang out with Kobe. When you're a Celtics fan, you hate Kobe.
Actually, hanging out with Kobe might be fun.
Kobe would at least pick up the check, right?
No.
No, Kobe wouldn't pick up the check?
He'd be like, you make $58K a year. Pick this shit up. That's not even counting your disposable income, so pick this shit up.
Pick that shit up. I'm Kobe Bryant. I couldn't believe this when I was reading this all about Tiger
Dude,
Woods.
if I went out to eat with Kobe and the bill was like $2,000, I'd be like, I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be back in a second. I'll get the check. I'd just walk out.
Be back in a second. But yeah, the secret history of Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
If you haven't read the article, the piece, I suggest you read it.
I want to know if he got the seats. That's what I want to know.
You have to understand why people join the military. So Tiger Woods can pick up the check, but also why.
That's all they do is get seats to sporting events.
Great seats.
You ever notice that, like...
Every time I go to Fenway, I have to cheer for one of those guys.
Woo! Dude, they get to, like, do coin flips at the Super Bowl. They get to, like, go to the World Series. God forbid, like, you forget about the horrors of the world for a minute and just watch a World Series game. They show people getting blown up in, like, Iraq and like, Libya, like, all this crap. There was actually this time, and you remember this. There was this time Chris and I were at a party, and they stopped the party and they made an announcement like, oh, I forget his name, but like so-and-so.
I think it was TJ.
I have no idea. I didn't know the guy personally. I'm loaded, keep in mind. And I always said this, but I never really said it out in public because people would think I'm an unpatriotic asshole.
Plus, you said your uncle would flip, but he got used to it.
Uncle Tom was a Vietnam vet.
Yeah, and so you said never say that to him; he'll flip out.
I did tell you that.
Now he's fine with it.
He gets pissed when I do it.
Yeah.
No, but I always say, like, that's how you got the salt season tickets in the 70s. You're like, Vietnam vet, give me my seats.
Give me my seats.
No, but anyway, like, so I'm loaded. And they stop the party like, oh, like, you know, let's hear it for TJ. He's going to, like, fight for our freedom. Like, blah, 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 blah. So I go up to him like, hey, man, that's awesome. Good for you. He's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, dude, the seat's going to be great. And he looks at me puzzled. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's why you're joining, right? You're going to get free seats. Go to sporting events. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, dude, that's the only reason people join, like, the Navy and the Army and the military is to get free seats. Like, Kraft might take you to the Super Bowl. Like, this past year, he took, like, all these soldiers to the Super Bowl. You can go to the Super Bowl next year. And the guy just looked me up and down in disgust and just, like, walked away.
He was pissed.
Dude, and
I was just dying laughing.
You're in the corner dying. And Michael's like, dude, what the fuck did you just say to him? I'm like, I don't know. I'm fucking trash. I don't even know what I said.
The best was Scotty
so
and
fucking
I.
aggravated.
Scotty had a breathalyzer.
Yeah, my mother, I've calmed down my drinking quite a bit, but I was like a lush at one point. So my mother made me get a breathalyzer to keep in my car. So, like, make sure I was under the limit before I drove, which is smart. And I always used it, by the way. Especially in this occasion. So we're at the party, and this is, I think, after we played Helicopter. And I made that comment.
Helicopter's a great game, by the way. It's like a combination of beer pong and flip cup. If you haven't played, it's teams. You should play it.
Oh, by the way, we had you guys beat because I sank my last ball. And then your friend, like, puked all over, like, the girl's shoes or whatever it was. But, so we take the breathalyzer after that whole, like, fiasco with the seats. I think, if I recall correctly, I was, like, 5 times over the legal limit, which is, I was gone. I had, like, probably friggin', 14, 15 beers.
I don't know.
And a couple shots. And O'Keefe was, like, 13 times over the limit.
I blew like a high score. I mean, I drank a lot. I drank a lot of booze.
You
I drank some wine.
No, you drank a lot that night.
Yeah,
we all
bunch
did.
Of beer.
We all did.
I thought I broke your breathalyzer. It was like,
I'm like, it's like scored not registered. It's like pump his stomach.
like this man is dead. This is not breath. This is alcohol.
The screen like pops up like it's Irish. He's Irish. It's cool. That was a fun night. But
I have a question for you, baseball wise.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I've been hearing this a lot.
Yeah.
And seeing people's opinions on this.
Yep.
People saying Bryce Harper is now the best player in baseball.
Tough to disagree with
And
right
that
now.
he's past
right now.
Trout.
It's tough to disagree right now. Do you know what this reminds?
At this moment he's better.
Do you know
has he passed Trout?
Do you know what this reminds me of?
No. You let me know, Scotty.
Magic and Larry in the 80s. This is what this reminds me of. The constant debate over who was better.
But up until the mid 80s, it wasn't a debate. Larry was just better.
Well, I'm talking like I would say between like 86, 87, 88, that range. There was a legitimate question about who was better.
Well, Trout was better for sure up until a year ago.
I think that they're neck and neck, honestly. You can't go wrong with either one. Let's make that very clear.
You must also be wicked stoked that your first place Orioles could have had Jake Arrieta for 3 years ago. I think the anniversary was today, 3 years ago today, that you guys got rid of him.
I couldn't wait to get rid of him. He sucked when he was here. When he was there.
Yeah. Pretty sure it was the anniversary today. 3 years ago today, you guys got rid of Jake Arrieta.
He was a bum here. He desperately needed to change the scenery.
He's been a beast.
Yeah, but
granted, no hit is not the same as what they used to be. There's too many no hitters now. They need to move the mound back or something.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Remember when the no hitter was like a rare thing?
It's 5 times as likely now. I was reading,
and I don't know if that's just the pitching is better or the offense is worse or they don't have enough steroids. I don't know what it is.
Oh my God, the Yankees, Jacoby Ellsbury, Brett Gardner, the Yankees $205 million platoon.
That's why they're in last place, folks.
If you see the Yankees payroll,
start spreading the news.
Because I went to the game on Tuesday with my dad. And
who did they play? Is it Tampa?
Tampa, and they lost.
Yeah.
They didn't score a goddamn run.
Oh, yeah.
This game, they didn't score a run.
Oh, yeah.
They had the bases loaded at one point with no outs and didn't score. That was one of the games they didn't score when they had the bases loaded.
I was
with no outs.
I was working late that night, but my dad was laughing when I got home. I'm like, what happened? He's like, the bases loaded, they didn't score. That's awesome.
Bases loaded, no outs.
I'm like, you're in last place. It's even more awesome.
Yeah, but we got one of the $1 programs, and we were looking at the Yankees payroll.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
They're the Yankees. That's what they do.
But everyone's way overpaid. They have like 4 $20 million players.
Everyone's overpaid in sports now.
I understand that, but the Yankees...
Unless you're Tom Brady, you're overpaid.
Yeah, Tom Brady's underpaid. I don't know if you caught this on the Celtics game.
I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure I'd make more
money. The guy
at
at the Celtics game was like going crazy with the Celtics jersey. He lifted it up and there was a Tom Brady shirt with a Tom Brady face underneath. I was like, yeah, Tom Brady.
I'm pretty sure I'd make more money than Tom Brady.
Tom Brady doesn't make money. He's just like, I'll learn Portuguese with Giselle.
Gronk says that he's okay with this contract and just wants to play football. Do you believe him?
Yeah, I believe him.
You believe him?
Listen, I don't understand what players want. If at the time you get your deal, you're the highest paid player at the time, every time someone gets a raise, you're supposed to get one too?
That's how Avery Bradley sees it. He's still bitching about his contract.
I don't get it, though. You signed an agreement based on the market at the time. It's just the way it works. I mean, it's not...
And if that's really how he feels, good for him. I mean, because...
Sox are up 6-1 in the bottom of the ninth.
No, they won. It's 6-2. That's
Why'd that come back? I
don't know.
I was like, they're already 500. How is that possible?
I don't know. They're 4-2.
15 hits.
15 hits, 6 runs.
30 hits in the past 2 games, folks.
We knew going into the year this team was going to hit and score runs. We knew it was going to be the pitching and the manager.
Well, I don't know after tonight, but they were literally last in starting pitches.
Dead last in everything.
How is that possible? I mean, I know because you're last. But
hey, the Orioles aren't last. Woo!
All right. So,
and by the way, there's still 2 more games, but if they take 1 game in Kansas City, I'm happy with that. Because the Royals are starting to play well now.
It's too early in baseball. It's just too early.
You're not going to really know.
Everything early.
You're not going to really know until late June, early July who's going to be in it.
The Orioles are 10-5. You guys started at 7-0.
Right, they're 3-5 in their last 8.
But the Yankees are 6-9. But They could easily win a couple games.
The differential is actually still pretty good. They're
yeah,
5-5.
So
they're 5-5 in the last 10. Look at that though. The Red Sox have actually scored, and the Orioles have been mashing the ball, and the Red Sox have scored 8 more runs than the Orioles have.
Red Sox have been scoring a shit ton of runs.
Yep.
Problem is they're letting up a shit ton of runs.
Yep.
They still have the
So 72.
they let up less runs in Houston now. Woo!
The 3 best offenses, if you go by runs scored in the American League, are the Orioles, Red Sox, and Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kansas City is they start off a little slow. They're 7-3 in their last 10.
Well, you know a team that's actually bounced back decently is Atlanta, considering.
Well,
I'm not saying they're good, but they were 0-8. Now they're 4-12, so
Woo!
500 in the last 8.
Go Braves!
The Washington's a stack.
By the way,
Nationals.
Chicago looks like just a machine right now. They scored 105 runs already.
It's so early. Well, the differential's a plus 67, which is absurd.
This early, that's absurd.
Yeah.
You have teams that you have good teams that are in the playoff hunt in September with like plus 67. It's 2 weeks into the season, they're plus 67 already. They're on pace to score 1,000 runs. That sounded like a horn.
That's like me being friggin' Bryce Harper's on pace for like 88 home runs and like 200 RBIs. Come on.
So, someone actually said, can Bryce Harper break?
They've been talking. Okay, break Barry Bonds is right. It's not going to happen.
No one's ever going to break 73 home runs.
And when if someone's like I was reading as well,
some guy would have.
If he starts hitting that well, you know what they're going to do? Just going to walk him.
Yep.
They're just going to walk him.
Doesn't an NFL player named Bryce Hager? That's pretty funny.
Never even heard of him.
Right now, Harper is hitting 298. He's 289 for his career, so his average is up. Go up a little bit. 8 homers, 22 RBIs, an OBP of 391. He's getting on base 40%.
His OPS actually went down today.
He's getting on base 40% of the time.
But this was higher earlier in the earlier today. But
yeah,
he had a game.
He probably went 1 for 4 or something.
Yeah, but he's got 8 home runs, 22 RBIs. Okay, he's on pace for 81 home runs and 223 RBIs for the season.
Yeah,
again, that's not going to happen. That's not how it works.
You know what though? The way he's doing it right now, it looks like wiffle ball. It's unbelievable what he's doing. And I know it's early. If you're gonna ask me, would I rather have Mike Trout? Would I rather have Mike Trout? Would I rather have Bryce Harper? There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer.
But you still like Manny Machado.
What?
You still like Manny Machado.
I think Machado's the best defensive player of the 3 of them. And Machado has 6 home runs too. He's no slouch himself.
I'm not saying he's a slouch. I'm just saying
he's on probably the worst team out of the 3 of them. Washington.
Look at his batting average right now. It's 397 too.
That's the only reason the Orioles are 10-5. He's mashing the ball.
He's been a beast.
Okay, Tyler just sent us a picture of cheeseburger. It actually looks really good.
Yeah, post-game cheeseburger. Woo!
Nice.
It's like 3 pounds of Houston beef.
Yeah, they're eating it on a raft because of all the rain they've had.
Look at that. Trevor Story's been beast. It's so early though. I can't look at the baseball stats. I look at them and I
know.
Wow, everyone's hitting 400 with 1 million home runs.
Manny Machado, he's gonna break Ted Williams 406.
It's like no, that's not gonna happen. Saltalamacchia with 14 RBIs.
Wow. Well, he can't catch, so he better hit. I do want to get into. I keep fixing the damn thing and it keeps coming back. I don't know.
Update your Windows, bro.
I did.
Mine don't do it.
I did it.
My computer.
I did it 3 days ago. I don't know what you want from me. I do want to get into the article that Chris Mannix wrote, and you know which one I'm talking about. Chris Mannix wrote a piece on Yahoo Sports yesterday. For those who don't know, Scott Brooks, who was Durant's head coach in Oklahoma City for years, went to a finals with him, went to Western Conference Finals with him. He was fired last year. Has been hired as head coach of the Washington Wizards. Washington also happens to be Durant's hometown. The whole point of the article was the Wizards purposely signed Scott Brooks as a way to lure Durant to D.C. in free agency.
They may have, but it's not going to happen.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
He doesn't even want to play in Washington.
No, he's told, and that's what Mannix says in his article, he's made it clear to his inner circle that he has no interest in playing Washington.
None.
Because
I
a
keep
lot
telling
of
you.
a lot of it too, I think, is the LeBron thing. He doesn't want to,
Hometown, and
Right.
it's way more pressure.
he doesn't
It
want
really is.
he doesn't want that. And I, frankly,
How's Washington's situation? Seriously.
not great.
If he's going to leave OKC, he's going to want to go to a team that has a better chance of winning.
I don't. Yes, and I don't think he's leaving OKC.
He is.
I don't
And
think
I'm telling
he
you
is.
why.
I don't think he is.
Number one, he ain't going to fucking win in the West.
No,
It ain't going to happen.
unless he goes to San Antonio.
San Antonio and Golden State.
By the way, let me get
he
this.
can go there. They can figure it out.
Let me get this out
They
really
don't
quick.
just lose everybody.
Let me get this out really quick. So Mannix laid out 3 possibilities, and he has a lot of intel within the league. He knows all the GMs, all the scouts, all the general managers.
So does this guy right here.
Okay, yeah, sure you do. We can't even get Doug Huda on the show now.
God damn it! We had an out. We know Brian Dew, Doug Huda. We know a lot of little sports guys, but
No, we've talked to them before and sold them oil. We don't know them personally.
we know them.
All right.
Know them.
So Mannix laid out 3 teams that are in the running for Kevin Durant. San Antonio, your defending world champion Golden State Warriors that are about to go back-to-back, and that would be insane. Just shut down the league for the next 3 years.
I don't know if they're going back to back though.
Well, San Antonio, it's one of those 2 teams, but regardless. And the 3rd team he named is Boston. You're a Boston Celtics.
He's coming to Boston.
I've
been telling you this.
Now, scratch off San Antonio. San Antonio can't fit him under the cap. Even
They can
with the
figure
cap
out a
going
way.
up.
They can
No,
figure it
can't.
away. You can always figure out a way. You can move somebody. You can do a sign and trade.
Right. If he plays for $50,000 a year and a pack of gum, then yeah, of course he could go there.
They can trade one of their guys to OKC with a couple first-round draft picks and get him. If the guy wants to go,
Why would
wants to
OKC
go.
want those draft picks? They're going to be the 29th pick.
They might not have a choice. They might not have a choice.
If that's the
You can
case,
say I'm not going to sign here. This is the best thing you're going to get.
if that's the case, then the Celtics can offer them infinitely more, especially if they get lucky
I understand
in a
that,
couple of
but
weeks and get a
The
draft pick.
player can say, I'm only going to sign if I'm going here. And then they do a sign and trade.
Right.
They literally sign him with the condition that he's being traded to X team.
Which also is beneficial to OKC because they get something instead of nothing.
Right. That's my point.
I actually
Beneficial to the player because then they get the extra year in their contract too because it's coming from the quote-unquote home team.
He didn't mention, Mannix didn't mention this in the article, but I think that it deserves, attention, credence. Could you see a sign and trade with the Clippers? Blake went to college at Oklahoma. He goes to OKC. No. You don't see it.
Nope.
You don't see it?
I think if Durant's going to leave and he's not going to go to San Antonio or Golden State.
I'm going to go on the record right now. I think he re-signs, and we'll come back to this. I think he's going to re-sign in OKC for 1 more year. Cap's going up next year. He could eat up basically 35% of a team's cap next year and make more money. I think he's going to spend 1 more year in OKC and then go hit free agency next year.
Well, if I'm Durant, I sign a 1-year deal somewhere else. Why do I have to sign it with OKC? I don't. I'm only going to sign a 1-year deal. There's no point to staying with the home team.
Okay.
I can sign wherever I want for a max contract.
But go ahead. And you were going to say...
If he's not going to go to San Antonio, why would he be leaving OKC? Again, why would he be leaving OKC?
I think there are a lot of reasons, actually. 1 would be to get out of the West. 2, I honestly think there's bitterness that they traded Harden when there was a gentleman's agreement that he and Westbrook took less money because they wanted to keep that core together, and then they traded Harden for Kevin.
Well, they should have amnestied Perk. They should have not paid Ibaka what they paid Ibaka.
They should have done a lot of things.
They could have moved other players and kept Harden. I told you if they had kept Harden, they would have had a dynasty. That's true.
But Sam Presti lied to both of those guys.
Now, you know what? He did like Brooks, too. Not that I think Brooks is going to get him to sign in Washington. But he's going to leave OKC.
If he liked Brooks that much, and I've told people this already, he'd still be the coach of the Thunder today.
Because it's not like that. There is no way, number one, that he's going to win in the West. Not the way it's currently constituted. He's just not.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I don't know if he's the number 1 or if Westbrook's the number 1. I don't think anybody knows.
They're 1 and 1A. They're interchangeable.
That's great, except that's not usually how a basketball team works.
You need to have an alpha. You need to have a clear alpha.
And you don't.
The one team that you could kind of say in the last decade or so didn't have a clear alpha was probably the 08 Celtics. Was Pierce the alpha or was Garnett the alpha? They were like co-alphas.
It's very weird because I'd say Garnett was the alpha, but Pierce was the scorer.
Pierce was the one who took the last shot with the
Pierce
game
was
on
the
line.
scorer, but Garnett was the alpha of the team. He was the best player.
See, I'm not sure. I think they were co-alphas. It was a weird dynamic, you know.
KG was the best player in that team.
Yeah, but it was still Pierce.
If KG never gets injured that season, he's the MVP.
Garnett was the best player on that team, but it was still Pierce's team. It was weird.
Oh, it was Pierce's team because KG was just traded there. KG was the best player. He was the alpha. Although KG as an alpha is not. KG's not a clutch time scorer. He's just not. He doesn't score in the crunch.
And Pierce was an assassin with the game on the line. Something that Garnett never was, which I think kind of hurts him legacy-wise as far as how great he is.
It does, but it's kind of how he grew up as a player. He never had a chance to do anything.
He never had the killer instinct, I don't think. Which the only knock you have on him, by the way. But,
again, I think that's all circumstance of where he grew up as a player in Minnesota with nothing. He was in the barren wastelands of Siberia as a player. It was desolate. He had no teammates.
No.
The one time he had teammates,
they went to the
Cassell
West
got injured and they went to the West Finals. They lost to a stacked.
I'm not sure
Lakers team.
I'm not sure they would have beaten the Pistons, but they could have gone to the finals.
They could have gone. For all we know, they could have beat LA. They could have won. I don't know. There's no way to know if that's the problem with a lot of these series is you forget who was healthy and who got injured, and that matters a lot. Like a big player get injured, like an Avery Bradley get injured, can sway a series.
They lost in 6, so I mean, if they have a healthy Sam Cassell,
maybe they win it.
Yeah.
Cassell was actually playing lights out that year too.
So was Sprewell.
Yeah,
and then they had some good complementary parts. I think who was
Olowokandi.
No,
did they have Zerbiak at that point?
I think so. Yeah,
they may have. They had Olowokandi.
He didn't have a limp yet, so I mean he was he was still serviceable. But yeah, I mean I don't know. I just don't see him going to. I don't think San Antonio can afford. I don't think San Antonio could fit him. Now, Golden State...
You can always make it work.
How would go
over the cap as long as you make trades or moves.
I understand that. But, luxury tax aside, let's say you went to Golden State. How are you going to fit... You can't fit 3 max players, can you?
You can fit as many max players as you want.
You're going to lose Harrison Barnes.
You can pay Harrison Barnes. You keep saying they're going to lose Harrison Barnes. You can pay every player in Golden State as much as you want.
Let me ask you this. And I was thinking about this. Dwight Howard's off the books this summer for Houston, right?
Yeah.
He went to school in Texas.
Yeah.
Go to Houston, play with his buddy Harden. Wouldn't that make sense?
Not going to happen.
You don't think so?
No. I think if he leaves, he wants to go to the East. He wants to go to the East because it's so much freaking easier to win.
Well, if he's going to the East, then that limits it to one team.
The Celtics. Thank you. We've been over this.
I don't know. If
he's leaving OKC,
the Celtics make it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's too good to be true. I think it's a pipe dream. But
he loves Bird.
It does make sense.
He loves Danny Ainge.
I did want to read. Okay. I did want to read some excerpts.
He loves the tradition.
I did want to read some excerpts.
He gets to play with Isaiah Thomas. He gets to play with a young core. He gets to play with a team with a ton of cap space. He gets to play with a team with a ton of picks.
All right.
What do you want?
All right. This is
plays in the East.
All right. This is
gets to be the man here.
This is from Mannix's article.
Don't need to read Mannix's article. Just read OQ's thoughts.
Shut up. The summer of Durant will be wild, with Durant eager to be courted to see how other teams operate. Golden State will be in the mix, San Antonio too, while Boston lurks as a dark horse, the Eastern Conference alternative if Durant chooses to extract himself from the bruising Western Conference playoffs. He's not telling us anything that we don't know. Now, down here, it's a pipe dream for Durant to join the Celtics, but there's little doubt he at least has interest in the franchise. Durant said publicly the tradition of being a Boston Celtic is second to none. But the interest goes far beyond that. After the Celtics lost to the Thunder earlier this season, Durant reportedly strolled down the hallway looking at photos of Celtics legends plastered on the walls. Before leaving for the team bus, he said, "Man, there's a lot of history in this building."
Granted, he doesn't know that it's a different building, but
yeah, that's the fake garden.
Actually, there's not a lot of history in this building,
as Kevin McHale has lined out before. Now, I'm puzzled because,
dude, he's coming here.
You really think he's coming here?
No, but I think there's a good chance.
I think there's.
I've been trying to tell you there's a chance.
Now
you're saying there's a chance. Yes, I've been saying it.
Okay, all right, Lloyd. Now I can't get over. For those who have been listening, I laid out a Scotty Cash 3-point plan to landing Kevin Durant. Now Chris is fucking rolling.
God damn, it's like
now Chris is rolling.
3-point program to friggin' fix the world or something.
This is my platform. This is how I'd make the Boston Celtics great again.
I'll make the Boston Celtics great again.
All right,
I have the best words.
I have the best words. I have the best plan. This is Scotty Cash's 3-point plan, and I don't think any of these things are going to happen. I did say that the Celtics...
and I'm pretty sure none of these things are going to happen.
I did say that I thought it was important that the Celtics win at least a playoff series to show progress.
I disagree. I will continue to disagree.
Okay.
It's not like, as long as they don't play like dogs in this series, it doesn't matter if they win or lose. Especially with Avery Bradley going down.
Okay.
They won 48 games, Scotty.
They won 48 games. With role players.
With role players.
I
But
get
you can
it.
keep most of them anyways.
I get it. So that was 1. 2, because you're likely going to be playing Cleveland in the second round if you get that far.
You're not going to get that far.
Let's assume they pull it out of their ass and they win the series, right?
Avery Bradley's walking through that door?
No.
They're not going to win without Avery Bradley.
Better chance of Bird, McHale, and Parrish walking through that door with Avery Bradley. He's got a tear in his
Parrish can probably still play.
What?
Parrish can still play.
Oh, I think Parrish right now is better than Olynyk. Like right now. Chief is probably 62
Like,
years
Chief,
old.
do this line and go in. All right.
No, he got marijuana shipped to his house. But, no one ever said he was the sharpest knife in the drawer. But, okay. Let's assume that they pulled the series out of their ass and they win, right?
Okay.
I did say they needed to at least take Cleveland 6 games. I think with the injuries, if they could just steal 1 game, it's satisfactory. Agreed? If you're going in the series without Bradley and you pull off 1 game, it's an accomplishment, right? At least you don't get...
Okay, Isaiah Thomas scores 50.
Don't get swept. Don't get swept.
I heard the greatest thing today.
Okay, by the way, and
They were
the
making
last,
fun of... Hold on, really quick.
No. The last part of my 3-point plan, and I still think this is important. I don't think it's going to happen because they never have luck in this freaking thing. They need a top 2 pick.
Hey, when Chris O'Keefe rolled those little thing for you guys last week, and I pressed the button and watched the results come up, we got first and second pick a lot.
Yeah, we did. We just need some of that luck in about 3 weeks.
Listen,
You got to watch it at your cousin Kathy's house.
I saw the best thing
Go ahead.
today on TV. They were making fun of the Rockets, the James Harden game winner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that.
Charles was making fun of him.
Well,
Fake
Charles
hustle.
was making fun of them before, but
Yeah.
they were actually they took shots at Charles, which makes no sense. The CEO said, yeah, Charles would know because his whole Rockets career was fake hustle, which again makes no sense because Charles basically destroyed his knee, but made sure he rehabbed to come back for the last game of the season with the Rockets to finish his career.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not
I
accurate.
remember that offensive board and putback.
Yeah, they were talking about that.
I was very sad because it was a great way for him to go out, but a terrible way for him to go out. I can't explain it.
But Houston, okay, their bench almost didn't react at all when Harden hit the game winner. Most of them didn't care, including Dwight Howard. And they were talking about Dwight Howard, and they were saying, listen, if you had Dwight Howard's body with Isaiah Thomas's heart, oh my God. Do you know how good of a player that would be?
Mm-hmm.
That dude's a 6'11" beast, and he's the softest dude in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely
I'm
horrendous.
telling you this.
He could score 80 points if he was Isaiah Thomas. If Isaiah Thomas was in his body.
Go back and listen to the podcast sometime around February when they were.
Well, you blame Harden, though.
When they
you
would
blame Harden.
I blame both of them. I think they're both have culpability in their failed season. But you can go back to February and listen to podcasts. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but Dwight Howard was linked to the Celtics, and what was my response?
You never want Dwight Howard.
No. I'm pretty sure I said it about 50 times in a row. All right, so that's the Kevin Durant thing. I'd love to have him here. I think that there is a slight chance. I think those chances improve with the playoff victory and a top 2 pick. Because, again, I think the top 2 pick gives you ridiculous flexibility. Because if you're going to...
I don't think you need any of that stuff. You just got to sign somebody.
If you're going to get Kevin Durant here, a top 2 pick allows you to go out and pluck another star for Durant to play with to get him to come here. Keep in mind, Kevin Garnett wasn't coming here until Danny got Ray Allen. Wasn't
That's why the
happening.
Celtics didn't get somebody.
Wasn't happening.
Even though I don't think he's great anymore, I'm not a huge fan of him. Bring in Al Horford. Get Horford. Get Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, but again, if
Get space.
Horford's your 3rd or 4th guy,
well, that's what I'm saying.
that's fine.
You can bring Durant in if you have
Now,
Horford and
here's the
Isaiah
thing.
Thomas with picks.
You can't sign Horford to a max deal. You can't. It's out of the question.
You can.
I don't think you can.
You
I
can.
don't think he's a max player. He's not a max player anymore.
I've explained this to you. The NBA, you just pay people. Just how it works. You just give money. Everyone in the NBA makes 25 to 30% more than what they should.
All right.
Bum players make $6 or $7 million.
All right.
All right, it's like a lot of the baseball players. Once they're like done with all their 14 years of no free agency and arbitration, Then they finally get out into the open free market and they make like $10 million a year to be suck-ass players in baseball. That's how the NBA is, but with a cap. The only good thing about the cap in the NBA is like you can go over it with like trade maneuvers and like exceptions and such. And if you bird rights or the biannual and all this other crap, mid-level, like that's fine.
Well, the mid-level exceptions every other year, not every year.
Right. No, biannual exceptions every other year. Yeah. Mid-level you can use every year.
That's what I meant.
But there's a whole bunch of exceptions, and you can always go over the cap to sign your own players and sign in trades. As long as you take back 75%, you can take back $1. So if I have 75 cents to you, I can take back $1. I can keep doing that, and I'm way over the cap, way over the luxury tax, all that stuff. There's a hard cap way above that you can't pass, but it's like quadruple the cap or something absurd. That's why Brooklyn was paying like $300 million to have no one playing their team anymore.
Right.
I think they're still paying for KG and Pierce.
I think the Celtics are still paying for Rick Fox. And Vin Baker.
Poor Vin Baker.
Really quickly, and close it out on the Durant front. I mean, we'll see what happens in July. Because nothing's going to happen until July anyway. Bill Simmons brought this up in his podcast. It's something I had glossed over before, but never really expanded on. I think Bill Simmons did a good job. By the way, just go to YouTube and type in Bill Simmons Durant Celtics, and it'll pop up. It's like a 10-minute snippet. It's pretty good listen. Danny basically said there's only one team in 2007 that had the balls to take Durant number 1 overall, and it was the Celtics. And Durant knows that. He knows that Ainge believed from day one, and he wasn't going for Greg Oden when everyone else was saying, oh, you got to take Oden number 1 if you get the first pick. He wanted Durant all along. I believed that at the time. I still believe it now. Do you think that has any bearing on whether Kevin says, you know what, this guy's always believed in me. He would have made me the first pick in the draft. It's a good situation. It's a nut sports town. Larry Bird's my idol.
Yes. Yes, I already told you all this.
So you think, hold on, you think that
yes.
You think that Simmons' point there comes into play?
Yes.
Because there were a few months ago you said I was full of shit.
Full of shit what?
Because I believed Ainge, and I still do to this day. He said if he got the first pick in 07...
I don't know if that's accurate. There's no way to know that.
He was taking Durant.
I'm not calling you full of shit. I'm saying there's no way to know.
You really think...
It's full of shit.
You think they get the first pick in that draft? You really thought there was a chance they was taking Oden over Durant?
Yes.
I don't.
I think that anyone that says that they know or that he says that, that's full of shit. But yes, they've always had a great relationship. Ainge loves Durant and vice versa. Okay? I already told you.
No, KD has always spoke highly of Ainge.
They love each other.
Yeah.
They're in a bromance.
No,
okay?
But that's Simmons' point. Durant knows that Ainge believed in him from the beginning.
That doesn't mean that he was definitely taking him on 1.
I think he was.
You can sit there and say that.
I think
that's
he
fine,
was.
but there's no way for us to know that. There's no way. And it would be completely different if he had the first pick and took him. Okay, that's the only way for us to know. We can't unring that bell. It didn't happen. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe he's the second pick and he takes him second.
Well,
but we know that he loves Ainge and Ainge loves him. Okay, his favorite player ever is Bird. He loves the tradition. Only thing he doesn't like about Boston is the cold weather. Other than that, it's an absolutely perfect spot.
Oklahoma's that much better. It's like in the middle of a cornfield.
It's warmer though.
Yeah, slightly.
Oklahoma? Way warmer than Boston.
There's like nothing there. They got Mickey Mantle Steakhouse in like a field and like an Oklahoma City bombing like memorial. I think that's all that's there. The anniversary
photo
the
of
other day
Timothy
was
McVeigh.
Yeah, the anniversary actually was the other day, which is a horrible thing. I vaguely remember it, but so I mean
I think all those things do factor in. It sounds like you're a honk.
I remember
they can pay just as much, and they can have a sign and trade happen. They have plenty of chips to trade if they want to trade.
And
some
they're
picks
already
sign and trade done.
They're in a rebuilding phase, and they won 48 games.
They got a good coach. They love the GM. You can play with Isaiah Thomas. And sign another star. I don't see a reason why it couldn't happen. If he leaves OKC, which is a high possibility, from what he's not saying anything, obviously, which is the smart thing to do. But if he leaves OKC, I think there's a great shot he lands in Boston. Is it 50-50 even? No, it's probably like 30%.
You think it's that high?
That maybe, yeah. I think it is. I think it's something like that.
I think of all those...
I don't think... Where else is he going, We've talked about this.
My 3-point plan, if all those things...
Forget your 3-point
No, hold on.
plan.
No, if all those... If that 3-point plane isn't a fugazi, and it all falls into place, even then I think it's only like 20%.
I don't think any of that shit matters.
I think it does.
I think it matters that you have Isaiah Thomas here.
A top two pick gives you leverage to go out and get another player to play with him.
Well, if you have a top 2 pick but if you get somebody else anyway,
much-
you don't need a top 2 pick to go get another
How much
player.
better? Look at
Again, I've already told you this. I might rather have Isaiah Thomas, sign Horford, take Simmons with just say the top pick, and then have Durant come.
Okay.
Again, Simmons could be an absolute stud in 2 years. Durant isn't going to be dead.
Hold on.
Isaiah Thomas isn't going to be dead. And I don't care what Horford is.
We're
'cause he's gonna be
Celtic
my
fans.
fifth-
We're
sixth-
Celtic fans, and you're gonna go there.
Well, yeah,
That happened. Lightning struck twice.
the night we signed Durant, he's probably going to go out on a binger and just freaking take a giant line of coke the size of this table and just die. It's the first time you ever took a line.
By the way, Lightning almost struck 3 times. Pierce was almost stabbed to death. So I mean,
Thank God for Tony Batty, huh?
That's like the only good thing he ever
So
did.
Tony Batty needs a ring.
Yeah, we got to get him a ring, and he's got to be there when the number goes up. By the way, Kelly Olynyk, your shoulder's too sore to play. Paul Pierce was nearly stabbed to death and was playing 3 weeks later.
Stabbed 11 times. He played 3 weeks later. He played every game and every preseason game that season.
And
On
scored
top of that,
2,000 points.
I believe that was also the season where he broke his teeth and then had
that was the next year.
The next year?
No,
he'd
his
have 14 hours or 20 hours of dental surgery
and then didn't miss shoot
and
around.
then still played.
Played the next night. You got to see.
Unbelievable. I understand the whole wheelchair thing and
That was
that
bad.
one bad look.
Yeah.
But other than that, Paul Pierce is a warrior.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the guy got stabbed 11 times, almost died. He came back for the preseason and then played the entire preseason and the whole season.
Paul Pierce almost gets stabbed to death. He comes back 3 weeks later. It's like, that's all?
Yeah. That's all you got for me. I'm the Terminator. I'm the
Dude.
truth.
Dude, he's from Crenshaw, man. He probably got stabbed like a bunch of times.
It was like a daily occurrence when he was little.
Father's like, this is going to toughen you up. Take it like a man.
Well, Pierce like stabbed. I've been shot by a missile.
He's probably going to retire this summer. And
He should. So should Durant. Garnett.
And it'd be nice.
I'm sad Garnett's still playing. It upsets me.
It's like watching Willie Mays with the Mets.
It's worse.
It's bad. It's like watching Bobby Orr with the Blackhawks. Like
It's like watching Kelly Olynyk with the Celtics.
It's like watching Kelly Olynyk, period. Man, imagine what he's going to be like when he's friggin' old. If he's still in the league.
No.
He's probably going to be making maple syrup in Canada. And like.
On that note, though, I do want to...
But I
do want to put a feeler out there.
I was going to say one thing before you move on from that.
Sure.
I don't know if they're going to split it up so they each have their own night. But if they both retire this summer, it'd be nice to have their numbers go up in the rafters together. I think that'd be nice.
I don't put Ray's number in the rafters.
No, I'm talking about Paul and Kevin.
No, I know. I'm just telling you. I don't put Ray's numbers in the rafters.
Paul Pierce, no doubt.
Garnett, no doubt to me.
Garnett is borderline.
Is it no
but
doubt
I
to
would
me?
say yes. He changed the whole culture. He changed the franchise.
Not putting Ray in the rafters.
It's tough to put.
I'd put Rondo in the rafters before Ray.
I don't put either in the rafters.
I
honestly.
wouldn't either. I'm telling you, I would put Rondo in ahead of Ray. But after watching them and watching a lot of the playoffs so far, I have a feeling that the Cavs could win it all.
Why?
If those three guys stay healthy,
Huge.
If they stay healthy.
Huge if, but continue.
they actually have more balance than LeBron's ever had on a team. Because Love,
No, not those Miami teams. No way.
Bosh was never that good.
He was a good player.
No.
He was a very good player.
Bosh isn't as good as Love.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Dude, Kevin Love just hangs around the perimeter now and shoots threes. That's all he does.
Still rebounds like a freak. He does.
Dude, he's soft.
Look it up.
He saw. I don't need to look it up.
Because Kelly hurt him, he's soft.
What?
Because Kelly hurt him.
I'm not sure that Kelly could hurt my dog. So yeah.
I'm telling you, Kyrie's playing great.
By the way, I always thought the guy was a bum. He's on my shit list forever now. After this, okay. You can laugh at me if you want to. All right, I played half a football season with a cracked bone in my foot. Okay, I played an entire baseball tournament with a ripped up elbow. I couldn't throw a friggin' ball. That's not even counting the knee sprains, the ankle sprains, the pulled hammies, like all the crap I played sports with. This guy's shoulder hurts a little bit. I'm like, ow, ooh, it hurts.
Look,
and he can't just hang around the perimeter to help spread the floor. Maybe hit a couple of threes to spread the floor. That's all you need him to do, because he's not a banger anyway. And the fact that he's not playing is just it's a disgrace.
while I agree with you, I can't question him. First of all, again, I just think he's being set. I don't think he's injured at all. I think this is a Pablo Sandoval. Oh, you're injured. Get out of here. Okay? Number one. I have no evidence to say the contrary. I could kill us.
Yeah.
Number two, it's hard for us to judge somebody else's injuries, and we don't know what real... Sore shoulder could mean anything.
Different people...
I mean, did you watch Joe Kelly the other night?
Different people have different
He came out with a sore shoulder, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A nerve impingement or infringement, whatever the hell he had. No idea what he had. I don't think he knows what he had. He hurt his shoulder a little bit. It was sore. He left the game. Who am I to say that he couldn't pitch? Who am I to say that Kelly shouldn't play? If he can't lift his shoulder, maybe he can't do the only thing that he can do, which is shoot threes, okay?
That's all he can do.
And if he can't shoot threes, he's worthless. I mean, he's worthless anyways. But he's like the white worst version of Jared Sullinger. All right? That's what Kelly Olynyk is. Those two players, I don't want to ever see them on the... That's why I like Amir Johnson. And I played Jerebko like 48 minutes a game. I'd be like, go out there, bud. Just keep playing.
He's white.
Way better than these dudes. He's way better than friggin' Kelly. And Sullinger's just a fatty dude.
Yeah.
He really is.
I can't defend him with how he's played the series. He's just been invisible. He's been so bad.
He sucks on offense.
Terrible.
He sucks on defense. He sucks running up and down the court. I watch him and I'm like, dude, why is it hurting me to watch you hurt yourself running up and down the court? Like, I literally feel bad for the man's feet. Like, it's sad. Anyways, hockey, I have not watched.
I watched a little of the...
I've watched like 7 minutes, maybe.
I do have to watch. I'll probably watch more this weekend, because I think I'm going to take Monday off of work, and I'm going to, hang out for a couple of days. I'm going to be spending a lot of time inside just watching sports. So I'll probably... we'll see if the Cape is good luck for the Celtics. That's probably where I'll watch Game 4. So, I mean, and again, I think it's a puncher's chance. I know they're hurt. I know they're banged up. They're giving up home court advantage. I think if they win Sunday, they still got a shot. I think Atlanta's winning the series.
Unless Avery Bradley comes back, they have no shot of winning. I'm telling you that right now.
You seriously?
Zero chance.
There's always a chance.
You're not going to win that many games without Avery Bradley. No, Isaiah Thomas is going to have to score 50. He's going to have to score 50 next game, 60 the game after, 70 the game after.
Maybe
no,
he will. Maybe
it's not going to happen.
Maybe he will.
It's not going to happen.
Maybe he will. I think that's everything that we got. So I think we're going to call it a night.
Short show.
Yeah, short show. Not even an hour and a half. But, yeah, check us out on www.gamesofinches.com and also on YouTube. Type in Chris and Cash podcast to view this episode as well as past episodes. Tell your friends, share, like, do it often. Check in with us next week. By that point, hopefully the Celtics series is still going on.
Probably won't be.
Probably won't. Hey, if they lose Sunday, Atlanta's wrapping it up Tuesday. So I think it all hinges on what happens Sunday night. And they're at home. They have momentum now, at least for one game. So we'll see how it goes. But also rest in peace to Prince.
In China.
That's right.
They both died the same day.
Yeah. She was...
I think she was 45. Prince was 57. Prince was a drug OD.
Well, Prince was... he had hip surgery like 5 years ago. And he was like addicted to Percocet, I guess. And he actually had to be revived on a plane like 2 weeks ago. Did you read that? Yeah. So, I mean, that was a little nuts. I mean, it's a terrible thing. I mean, the same thing happened to Michael. I
believe he was 57.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Jackson died when he was 50. And I think
Prince just looked like he was like 7. I mean, part of that was he was 5'2". But
I think, honestly, there's a good chance that Michael Jackson was murdered. I mean, like, seriously, I think there was malpractice there.
Possibly.
But no, I'm not saying he was. I'm saying there's a chance that he was. That's all. So, I mean, there could have been some foul play there.
You just love Michael Jackson. You're like, he didn't rape people. He wasn't a pervert.
I honestly
don't. He didn't molest any children. He was murdered.
I honestly don't think he molested kids.
Greatest musician ever. I'm like,
A tremendous entertainer.
Who was?
Nobody sang and danced like Michael Jackson. Nobody.
Nobody. Prince can't hold a candle to Michael Jackson.
Huh? This is like the Donnie Brasco. Michael Jackson got more celebration, got more power. No, I would say, and actually, I was a Prince guy too. I liked Prince growing up as well. So I mean, I was upset when Michael died. I was upset when I heard about Prince yesterday. One thing I will say,
Scotty was upset when Elvis died.
I wasn't alive. I wasn't alive in 1977. I wasn't born yet. I think Michael was a better singer. I think he was a better dancer. Prince by far was a better musician. He played like 27 instruments. Michael really didn't play instruments.
I think Prince played every instrument ever created.
And he was great at all.
Known to man. He invented instruments. His instruments had instruments.
No, tremendous entertainer. And he will be missed, especially by Dave Chappelle. They went up for a game of basketball.
And on that note,
game blouses.